Sitting down with Kyle Turley, BJ Ganem with an M,
Yes, sir.
and Mike Smith.
Yes, sir.
Kyle Turley, obviously 8-year career in the NFL. BJ and Mike involved with Sierra Delta. I think, where do we kind of start with this? I actually want to start with the Sierra Delta part. Sorry, Kyle.
No,
we'll get into that with it. But
well, that's how we connected, playing football.
Playing football, right? Yeah, we had what's called the Wounded
Perfect
Warrior
segue.
amputee football team.
Yeah.
And it's just, it was amputees from these wars playing against these NFL legends. And it was some of the most fun. I think all of us.
Where was it, Atlanta?
We was
Was the first one?
No, the first one was in New Orleans. It was in New Orleans in 2012. No,
When
Indianapolis
we met.
2011. No,
In Indianapolis, I think so.
Yeah.
I did a push-up
Against,
contest.
against Greg Reynolds.
But push-up contest, you win?
No, this guy. What was Ryan? He's missing.
His arm, like even at the shoulder blade,
with one arm, right?
One arm.
So he beat one. I got beat by one-armed man in the push-up contest. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I gotta say, because Mike was telling me Mike was telling me was well, on a different note, Mike. Correct me if I'm wrong. You tell me before we went on air. After the incident, you still served for another 11 years.
Yeah, I lost my arm in 2011, and I kept serving an additional.
I mean, you're nuts, but for a lot of different reasons, probably, right? But I mean, amazing. Obviously, I think people sometimes get the wrong. We talked about misconceptions, right?
Yeah, and I mean the brand about veterans right now is everybody's trying to make us out to be victims, or that we need saving. We don't need saving, right? And what I'm trying to remind the veterans out there is, hey, you still got strength. Yeah. Just because you took the uniform off doesn't mean you need to stop serving, right? Mm-hmm. And let's look at the dog situation. Like, dogs and humans have been working together for 35,000 years. This isn't complicated. 99% of us do not need a medical assistance service dog. We're overthinking and over-regulating this process. So what we do different at Sierra Delta is every veteran is already approved to be in the community just by serving. Right, because that's driving me crazy. Is everybody's talking about, we want to help vets, and then you get up there and you ask for help, and they're like, "Well, how much money do you make? How bad are you hurt? Like, did you see combat? Are you Are you post 9/11? Like, what does all that matter?" Right? And so this is a true thank you for your service. We're asking Americans. We don't take any government money, right? And we're helping veterans get the dog of their choice trained to their individual needs and lifestyle, and let's have some fun doing it.
Yeah.
So we give up to $3,500. To pay a professional trainer to help them achieve their goals with their dog, whether that's service dog, whether that's a sport dog, whether that's just a good family dog. It doesn't matter to me. If these men and women want to join the circus with their dog, I don't care. We'll give you $3,500 and help you connect with a trainer and make that happen. So that's what it's about. It's about community. And I mean, we've learned so much for these NFL players. We face a very similar cliff once we're done serving in the military that the NFL players do. We get a lot more love because I think, everyone looks at you guys and think you make so much money, and they don't really understand the behind the scenes. But the trauma is the trauma, right? Whether it happens in war or whether it happens on a football field or whether it just happens in your everyday life, right? It's a human response. And that's what we're trying to figure out is what's the most common denominator we can have in this country to bring us together. And with 68% of American households having what's the community around?
No, for sure. And is it fair to say, and it's a guy that different stages, I like to look at the life connection, right? It's not just about what your profession was, or I know that there's different levels of trauma, but when you got to change your lifestyle or you move forward, right? Even for me, or something that you did your whole life. I mean, Kyle asked you this secondly, but since we're talking about this, when you guys were done serving or the incident happened, fair to say part of Mike, like identity, like that's just all you've come to know for the longest time, and then you're moving forward with the next step.
Yeah, for sure. So I think for me, I know my limitations. I know what I'm capable of, and I know what sets me back. So when I retired, my way of not doing it, I kept going. So I've been a pro athlete even before I retired out of military. You know what I'm saying? So that was my way of keeping going. Like, that was my way of continue to stay busy, holding myself accountable with training and racing and all of those things, just because I know what that slippery slope looks like. I've seen it all too often, and my way was continue to do sports.
Yeah, you just continue to be a badass and do your thing. And but some people don't, but if they stop, right? That's the part for me. I stopped playing. I played Kyle professionally for 8 years, baseball, but growing up, that was my identity, right? So you feel like you're attached to that constantly, and you're going, all right, well, what do I do next?
And
Now
you
I'm
had
doing
that
this.
before you started playing baseball. It was expected.
Yeah, I guess there was
You're
this
the
guy.
legacy.
There's a
Yeah.
guy
Right.
slightly below 6'5" because I'm 6'5" and I'm
Right.
taller, so I want to set the record straight. But you know, he did some incredible things. My family did incredible things, so there was expectations there too. But all I knew was how to be an athlete, and I didn't know what to do after it. I mean, now I'm trying to figure out how to hold this mic properly and try to figure out the whole media section. But I think that's part of the conversation, and at least with what I think's awesome with what you guys are doing, it's a support system. I mean, hell, I wish I had any support system outside of it. But in this case, I think that's how I look at it is it's a transition period. I mean, Kyle, did you feel when you were done
exactly
playing?
what it is. I mean, we're back for it was Atlanta where we met, and this has been a community thing that's been built, over these years. We've had amazing things across this country that we've been able to be a part of at these Super Bowl events that continue to promote what Sierra Delta is doing, and that's building community. It's 100% what this is about. And what I love about this program is that it can really do that for all these people, and all of these funds allocated towards these things that can help people meet and have a community of people, from veterans on all sides, from sports to the military, the community involved around people that have had trauma or need to find something else out there, of people that are interested in living this life in a like-minded, direction, having this, canine component. It's just such an awesome thing. I know that myself, having dogs and being able to go to the park and meet people, going up to the hills. I mean, everywhere I've lived, has been an opportunity with my dog to meet somebody. Right.
Yeah.
And with what they're doing is just going to create, I think, amazing communities in all of these areas where people take advantage of the opportunity of getting the program.
And that's a great point, because Mike can tell you, like, he wasn't a dog person. Like, I had to ride him for a couple of years and be like, dude, I think this will help you. But go ahead, tell him, Mike.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with any animals, period. That just wasn't my thing. BJ kept saying, oh, man, I think you could really benefit from a service dog. And just like, yeah, I'm good. Both my legs, I can balance. Not sure what a dog is going to do for me.
Yeah.
And then finally, it wasn't until after I got one that I knew I needed one. As a leader going through the military and as a pro athlete, we're required to hold a certain degree of arrogance and competitiveness and all these other things. And, my dog is the one thing in my life that no matter who I was, who I am, or what I'm going to be, his loyalty and love is unparalleled, right? So, it's been dope. Yeah, it's been a pretty fun experience.
I personally, I don't have a service animal, but for me, I had a golden retriever. My fiance has wanted a dog for years. The longest time, I'm like, hey, who's taking care of him? Like, it's not going to be me.
Right.
And I love that dude, man.
Right.
And honestly, I might do, maybe he does judge me, but he's not going to say it out loud. But I sit there and I'm like, man, the not only just comfort, the stability, and how much I realize not even from a therapeutic standpoint, but just how much there's so many different sides that you don't think of.
That's right. And that's what we're trying to say. We're trying to simplify this whole process. Dogs and humans have been working together for 35,000 years. It's practically in our DNA, right? And all these dogs are service dogs. Just the majority of them are freelancing. And it's not so much about training a dog. It's about training a handler. And that's what we do. We ask the veterans to reflect. What is it that you want to do with this dog? Because it's not that the dog does something for you, right? We want them to get outside. That's why we incorporate hunting dogs. Like, you want to do shed hunting, mushroom hunting, bird hunting. You want to do obstacle courses. You want to do dock diving. There's all kinds of things you can do with the dog, right? But do it. Because it doesn't matter how many times we train your dog with that trainer. If you're not doing those things with the dog will regress, right?
Yeah.
Most people come to me about, I got this bad behavior, I got that bad behavior with my dog. It's like, you're not engaging the dog enough. They're bored. And so they're going to trash stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's not the dog's fault. It's ours, right? And the veterans out there, guys, our core values spell EPIC. It's empowerment, purpose, innovation, and community, right? People are not going to understand what we did in the military, and we don't really need them to.
Right.
And what we can really connect is, hey, does your dog help you? Now, you talked about that golden retriever. Like, you didn't think you wanted, Mike didn't think he wanted a dog in his life, but they do make an impression on us. And I don't think it's an accident that when you spell dog backwards, it spells God, right? And a 6-year-old girl, she explained to me, she goes, I know why dogs don't live as long as humans. She said they come into this world knowing how to love. Humans take a lot longer to figure it out, and that's where it's at.
Damn, I don't know if I needed that hard-hitting lesson right there in the morning. Like when you said that out loud, and I'm going, damn. Damn, BJ, why'd you have to do that to me right now? But I love it. Hey, before I let you guys go, and again, for those that are curious, Sierra Delta, we'll get all the information to check it out so people can find out more. You guys have been doing this Radio Row for a little bit, right? Been here a few times. Yeah. You guys got one story through your time before I let you go? Is there one thing that sticks out to you?
You know, it was a crazy time. I have one that's great. So we did an off Super Bowl game in Dallas.
Yep.
And Roger Staubach was our quarterback, right? He went to the Naval Academy, so he played on our team, except for he threw like 3 picks. And he said he had hurt his calf. Well, a year and a half later, we were at the San Francisco Super Bowl in San Mateo. And I was at the Hall of Fame breakfast, and literally Mr. Staubach comes from across the room and finds me. He's like, listen, BJ, I just wanted you to know my calf is healed. If you ever need me again, just give me a call. And I'm like, bro, you're Roger Staubach. You want to go have a catch in the street? Let's go.
I don't know, but if you're trying to win, that's 3 picks. I don't know. I mean, people don't forget that.
That was Roger, man. And I mean, he was still slinging it in 70-something years old.
Oh, God.
Crazy.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't mean to hug it, but that was one of my favorite stories.
Mike, Kyle, you got one? You got something?
Radio Row?
Or any experience around the Super Bowl time?
Jeez, we've been at this a long time. I mean, started the Gridiron Great stuff, and then we put together all of this with Sierra Delta at times over the years. Man, it's just a blur, really. A lot of fun times playing these football games. We're hoping to get back to that. Hopefully next year we can bring back the Veterans Bowl. That'd be awesome. Just an amazing time for guys like Roger Staubach to come out and participate with guys like me. But I'm a fan, fan first. Yeah. So coming to these things for me, even Radio Row is just so awesome. Seeing all the people as the week goes on, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger as far as names go. And the experience, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is New Orleans. The last Super Bowl experience I had, I was taking my shirt off trying to fight Neil Smith on Decatur Street with Chris Berman saying, "A rumble in the jungle." He's all drunk. Chris Berman's like, oh boy, here we go. And it's like me and Neil Smith had a beef, and I'm like, what's up now? I'm taking my shirt off in the middle, right outside the House of Blues. All the cops are coming around. Yeah,
See, that you were about to hide that for a little bit. Oh, it's been so great. We're so many great people. We love all these events.
We can get crazy,
And then I took my shirt off and I'm about to fight.
Yeah, me and Neil Smith.
2019, when you guys did the cigar and bar for the Gridiron Greats, his band was playing. That was amazing.
I heard
all the music, man. That was fun. All those memories, playing songs, and hopefully get it back. And just going back in studio actually at the end of this month, record a new record and see what happens. I got to actually perfect connection. Label 22 is those guys are awesome, man. They do Heroes Vodka and all of that. I just signed on to their label. They're going to produce my next record. Yeah, I'm going in the studio.
We're just getting together to do a partnership with those
awesome
guys,
okay.
Right?
Yeah. So here we are, all right? And it's just full circle all over again. And I got a new record coming out, and we'll be on tour hopefully this year. I'm hearing rumors with a couple different bands coming back out. Hopefully I did things with 3 Doors Down. They're coming back out. I might be able to jump on with them and see what happens. I did stuff with them on Monday night at the mic. They did the when I was playing, where I got to play with them on stage, and they paired NFL players with musicians and at the time. Anyways,
maybe in the future I got to hear when you're actually getting your music. And again, we could talk events or sports, but I kind of want to hear what you're cooking up there, because I've heard some rumors now about you in the music world. So I got to hear this.
It's real.
Yeah, Mike, is there any memory you had? Are you good, or do you want to just tell me about your favorite pair of shoes? So I'm getting the sign here. We got to wrap up.
Got our wrap,
I know you're a shoe guy too.
Yeah, I'm a super shoe guy. It's funny because every time I traveled here with a tub of shoes, 22 pair of shoes.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it? Yeah. Well, give me one pair that you like rocking with, and that's it.
I'm a Jordan 1s fan, so any Jordan 1. But my favorite pair that I brought here is the Louis Vuitton Travis Scott. my favorite one.
All right, I'm gonna need the photos of this after it. Okay.
How many pairs do you go through before you decide which ones to wear for the day?
Oh, my hotel's a wreck. So my agent is back at the hotel, and she comes in when I'm getting dressed, and I put on a pair and kick them across the room. Like I went through 8 pair of shoes before
you say those are the ones.
Classic Asics. I went with the classic Asics.
See, well,
Awesome.
I told
Wow.
you before, you got to help me with my style because I
you,
can't. Okay, appreciate you, but
Yeah,
hey,
Vans.
guys, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate your time, and be sure to talk to you guys in the future. All right.
Sure, appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thanks,
Good luck.
guys.
Thank y'all.
Thanks.